Yes. How's it going? You alright, yeah? I'm gonna be fucking honest with you now. It's like nearly 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah? When I'm recording this now. I've just had a big fucking spliff. You know, because I've been watching a lot of Joe Rogan and fucking Mike Tyson. You know, talking about the positives of weed. So I went out and bought myself some fucking weed dinner for the first time, and it's really fucked me up. I felt good though, I felt chilled out, you know what I mean? I felt really relaxed, really fucking calm. So I went out. I don't even know this area. This area that I live in now in Sheffield, I don't know this area. I only moved here so I could train at Brendan Ingle's boxing gym in Sheffield. This place where I'm living now is about 10 minutes from the gym, you know, where Brendan trained now. I'm living in this area now in Sheffield, yeah, and I don't know anybody. I only moved here to box. So I didn't try and get to know people around the area, you know, making fucking friends with the neighbours. I didn't do any of that shit. I just moved here to train and box and try and get somewhere in boxing, even though it didn't work out for me. That was my intention. So I don't know anybody around here. So obviously I'm not boxing anymore. You know, I'm doing these little fucking shit YouTube videos. So I can have a little drink and a little fucking smoke, you know, like Mike Tyson. So I just left the house about 2 hours ago. And I was just like asking around, you know, the area, you know, to see if anybody had any weed. And I found some fucking guy here. And he gave me like some weed. He gave me like 2 spliffs for a tenner. I don't know if I got ripped off. Because I don't really know what I'm doing, do I? So I bought 2 spliffs from him. I've smoked one. I've dropped the other one somewhere. And it really fucked me up. I built it up. Like, I didn't know how to build. I didn't know how to build a spliff. So I like watched a YouTube video. You know, like learning how to build a spliff. How to roll it, and I think I fucked it up because like bits of weed was falling out, and I just really fucked it up. But I feel good, you know. I feel like I'm in a good place. I can see why Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan, you know, have recommended weed this whole time. I feel really fucking good, man. So I've just been sitting here like watching, you know, Mayweather slagging off Lomachenko. You know, saying, oh, you know, you can't compare Lomachenko to me because, you know, Lomachenko lost his second fight. So you can't compare Lomachenko to me or Ali because Ali won his first fight and his second fight and his third fight. So that's what Mayweather's saying, and he's having a little dig at Lomachenko. Obviously, Lomachenko lost to that Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So Mayweather's having a little dig at him. But yeah, what do you think about that? You know, Mayweather saying that Lomachenko shouldn't be considered a great like him and Ali. You know, because he's had a few losses on his record. Mayweather could have had losses on his record. He could have lost to Castillo. You know, in the first fight, it was really close, wasn't it? You know, that could have gone in fucking Castillo's favour. You know, Mayweather could have lost that fight, couldn't he? He could have lost to De La Hoya. That was quite a close fight as well, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Ali's lost a few fights as well, I mean. So I don't know. I don't think a loss defines a fighter, you know. So I think anyone can lose. I don't think, even like Calzaghe, he fucking probably lost to Robin Reed. You know, if you watch that fight back, you know, Calzaghe could have lost, you know. Some referees and judges are fucking shit. You know, like that Terry O'Connor, that fucking idiot who scored Eddie Earn's fighter Lewis Ritson as the winner. You know, some referees and judges are fucking dumb. They're fucking corrupt, man. You know, he didn't deserve to win that fight the other day, did he? That other guy got robbed. Do you know what I mean? You know, these fucking bent judges and fucking referees and... yeah, they're scum. You know, the British Boxing Board of Control, they're a bunch of scumbags, I'm telling you. Eddie Hearn's fighter, he didn't deserve to win that fight, Lewis Ritson. So there's loads of dodgy decisions in boxing. You know, I don't really know if Lomachenko's loss in his second fight was genuine. You know, I haven't really seen the fight, you know. But, you know, to box for a world title in your second fight, it's quite a good achievement, isn't it? It's quite a good step up. Even though he had 500 amateur fights and he fucking only lost one. You know, it's still a step up, innit? Amateurs are amateurs, aren't they? You know, fucking Audley Harrison was a top amateur, wasn't he? He won a little fancy gold medal, but he didn't do fuck all in the pros, did he? So, amateurs don't really mean anything. So, you know, Mayweather having a dig at Lomachenko, you know, because he's had a few losses on his record. You know, that Julio Cesar Chavez, he was like 89-0. So imagine if he just finished there. 89-0. I don't think Mayweather would be able to get to 89-0. He's had a few little close fights. But that Julio Cesar Chavez, who did he box? I don't know. I don't know his record. I'm not a boxing historian like that. 'Cause it's... You don't know, do you? He might have boxed a load of fucking midgets, you know, who weren't in his weight category naturally. You know, who were like smaller men. You know, like Joshua, he beat Klitschko, didn't he? But some people could say that, you know, Klitschko was finished. You know, Tyson Fury got into his head, you know, and fucked him up. You know, like how he did with the Dosser. You know, the Dosser, he's fucking mentally fucked, isn't he? You know, he's twerking away and all that. You know, Tyson Fury really fucked him up mentally and physically. You know, causing him to twerk like that. Fucking disgusting behaviour, isn't it? But that's what Tyson Fury did to him. You know, he turned him into a bitch. Nah, he's just vanished off the scene, hasn't he? The Dosser. You know, he went really quiet, didn't he? I think Tyson Fury beat the fight out of him. I think he fucking beat the fuck out of him. He beat the fight out of him. Because, like, you remember when Deontay Wilder was shouting at Radio Raheem, saying, "To this day," you know, he was really loud, wasn't he? He was really fucking loud, you know, really putting it on Radio Raheem, saying, "To this day." You know, he was really fucking putting it on Radio Raheem, wasn't he? But then Tyson Fury fucked up the Dosser. And then he went all quiet, didn't he? The Dosser, and he started twerking. So I think Tyson Fury brought out the bitch in fucking Deontay Wilder, you know. I think Tyson Fury brought out the bitch in the Dosser. So Tyson Fury really fucked up the Dosser, didn't he? Mentally and physically. He really fucked him up. But yeah, you know, talking about fighters losing, Tyson Fury could have lost, you know, early on in his career against John McDermott. He probably deserved to lose that fight, Tyson Fury. Mayweather probably deserved to lose a fight. So I don't think a loss defines a fighter. I don't think it's a big factor, you know, losing. Anyone could lose. You know, Deontay Wilder, when he knocked down Tyson Fury, some referees would have just waved that off. You know, they wouldn't even have bothered counting. You know, they would have just waved it off straight away, you know, and called in the emergency services. So Tyson Fury could have lost that fight as well. You know, even though he got up and beat the fuck out of Deontay Wilder, you know, he still could have lost that fight. You know, some referee would have just waved it off there and then. So anybody can lose a fight, really, can't they? Bernard Hopkins, he lost his first fight, didn't he? You know, he's not really, like, considered a legend, you know, like Ali and Mayweather. I don't know if Mayweather is a legend, because Mayweather's, like, recent, isn't he? Like, he's only just retired. He's only just fucked it off. So in, like, 50 years, I don't know if he'll still be spoken about like Ali. I don't know, it's hard to say, innit? Because Mayweather's still quite relevant. You know, Mayweather's still on the scene and he's still staying kind of relevant, you know, talking shit about Lomachenko and dissing Teofimo Lopez, saying, well, you beat a guy who lost in his second fight, so you're not really that good. You know, Mayweather's still kind of like trying to stay relevant, innit? You know, he's just trying to hype up his fight with Logan Paul, innit? Yeah, what do you think of that fight? Do you think it's a bit of a joke? Just entertainment, innit? I don't mind it at all. I'll watch that, definitely. I'll definitely watch that fight, you know what I mean? It's just entertainment, innit? Mayweather's already been in the WWE, you know, against Big Show. And that was quite good to see, you know. It was obviously fate, wasn't it? You know, Mayweather came off as the victor, you know, against Big Show. You know, Mayweather bloodied him up. And he looked like the winner, boys. It's unrealistic, innit? Mayweather would get fucked up in a real fight against Big Show and Khabib. But it's just entertainment, innit? This fucking Mayweather-Logan Paul fight, you know? It's just entertainment, innit? You know, like when he fucked up that little Chinese guy and made him cry. That was good to see, man. It's just somewhat different, innit? Mayweather's trying to hype up his fighter, Gervonta Davis. Popping up in Gervonta Davis's documentaries. You know, that he used to do himself, Mayweather. There was 24/7s. Mayweather's popping up in those, isn't he? You know, Gervonta Davis is fighting out Leo Santa Cruz, so he's doing these little documentaries like Mayweather used to. You know, when Mayweather was having a go at his dad, telling him to get the fuck out of his gym.
Get in my gym, get the fuck out of my gym. You know, hey, come put me out your motherfucking gym, bro. Come put me out of here, bro. Come put me out, motherfucker. Get down, get out of my gym. Come put me out, motherfucker.
That was a bit disrespectful from Mayweather, wasn't it? You know, talking to his dad like that. I don't know if he's doing it for hype. Mayweather's good at hype, innit? I seen a photo of him sitting in front of a dead body today, you know what I mean? And it's like, he knows how to market himself, don't he, Mayweather? You know, sitting in front of a fucking dead body like that. I know it's not a real dead body, but it's still quite interesting to look at, innit? That fucking man with his head sawn off like that. So Mayweather's conveniently sat in front of that, you know, to try and like fucking stay relevant, you know, after his boxing career's ended. He's trying to stay interesting in him, Mayweather. So he's popping up in that Gervonta Davis's documentaries. But I'm glad he did. I watched that the other day. And like, Mayweather added a little bit to it because, you know, this Gervonta Davis, he's not really that interesting, is he? You know, he's not that entertaining, is he? You know, when I watched the documentary, it's just the same old shit, innit? Yeah, my dad was in prison and my mum was on drugs. It's just the same old story, innit, with these fucking boxers. My dad was in prison and my mum was on drugs. It's fucking predictable, isn't it? Yeah, boxing saved me from a life of crime. So these fucking boxers, they just say the same shit all the time, don't they? So you know Mayweather popping up in Gervonta Davis's little documentary, it was quite good to see. It added a different element to it, didn't it? You know, and it kind of fucking was a bit more interesting than fucking Gervonta Davis saying that my dad was in prison. You know what? My dad went to prison, yeah. My dad used to sell weed. And he used to paint walls, you know, like the black painter and decorator, turning his back on the action. You know, turning his fucking back on that iconic moment in boxing. That's what my dad used to do. He used to fucking paint walls, you know, like the black painter and decorator, turning his back on that iconic moment. You know, he's fucking ungrateful, and he's the black painter and decorator. You know, he don't fucking appreciate an iconic moment, you know, and it's right in front of his fucking face. So that's what my dad used to do. He used to sell weed and he used to paint walls, you know, like the black painter and decorator. You know, my dad was always getting locked up, you know, because he was selling weed. And I used to fucking hate my dad, you know, he was always shouting at me, you know, when I was a kid. You know, he was always fucking having a go at me. So, you know, when I got to like 13 years old, I thought, I'm gonna fucking ring the police, and tell the police that my dad's selling weed. So I went to a little shit phone box and I rang the police and I just said to them, my dad is selling weed and he's selling it from such and such address. And I gave them the address, and really fucking stitched my own dad up. And he got like 2 years in prison, for selling weed. I fucking hated it. So, when boxers say that their dad was in prison and their mum was on drugs, it could be true, couldn't it? It's just fucking predictable and boring, when you hear it all the time. But it could be true, do you know what I mean? My dad was in prison, selling weed and painting walls, like the black painter and decorator, turning his back on the action. So it could be true, do you know what I mean? You just get sick of hearing it, don't you? What other sayings are there in boxing, that are really overused and predictable? Yeah, it's like what Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. That's so fucking overused in boxing, innit, that saying. It's so fucking predictable, innit, and overused. People need to just try and come up with their own fucking sayings, man. Instead of just using the same old sayings all the time. Yeah, it's like what Mike Tyson says. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking try and come up with your own sayings, man. So predictable, innit? So yeah, Mayweather against Logan Paul. I'll watch that. I'd be quite interested in watching that fight. KSI, he was kind of like hating on the event, like saying, well, Mayweather should fight me because I beat Logan Paul. So why didn't you fight the winner of that fight, me? But KSI, he's bringing out these little shit songs, fucking trying to be a rapper. And he said he's not really bothered about fighting again, because he's living the life, innit, with those kind of sexy women. Making fucking little shit music videos. So he probably hasn't really got that desire, to fight again. So I don't know why he's hating on Mayweather fighting Logan Paul, just let him fucking get on with it, man. You don't want to fight, do you? Who would you rather see, Mayweather against Logan Paul or fucking KSI? Don't really matter, does it? They're both, like, whatever they are. I think in an MMA fight, I'd like to see Mayweather against Logan Paul because he's got like a little wrestling background. So in MMA, I'd like to see Mayweather against that Logan Paul. But boxing wise, I think that KSI is probably a bit better with his fists, isn't he? Do you think Floyd Mayweather Sr. gave KSI the blueprint to beat Mayweather Jr.? That's a fucking stupid thing to say, innit? That's just fucking dumb. That's just like fucking dumb, innit? That's like a fucking stupid question, innit? I knew the answer before I even asked the question, so it was just like a stupid fucking question, wasn't it? A Sky Sports boxing pundit asked Derek Chisora a really stupid question the other day. The fucking Sky Sports reporter said to Chisora, because Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez, do you think that's caused Usyk to doubt himself and, question whether or not he's going to win, because he's mates with Lomachenko? Why would that make a fucking difference to Usyk? Why would Lomachenko losing to Teofimo Lopez make Usyk start to doubt himself and question whether he's going to win? Teofimo Lopez was an unbeaten world champion when he got in there with Lomachenko. He wasn't just some dosser, was he? He was an unbeaten world champion. Derek Chisora's lost about 10 fights, and he's won a European title. So why would Usyk doubt himself? You know, it's a stupid question, innit, from that Sky Sports fucking interview. I don't know who it was. You know, and I'd like to name and shame him right now. I don't know who it was. It was just some fucking dosser on it from Sky Sports. Sky Sports Boxing is full of those kind of fucking clowns who ain't got a clue about boxing. You know, like that Anna Woolhouse with the blowjob signals. She hasn't got a fucking clue about boxing. She just did like a little shit journalism degree, you know, in some little shit university. And then she probably applied, you know, to do an apprenticeship with Sky Sports. And they probably put her as a pundit, you know, on the Sky Sports boxing team. You know, because she ticks a box, the blowjob box. So she ain't got a fucking clue about boxing at all, has she, Anna Woolhouse? She just ticks the blowjob box and that's it. Yeah, Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn have sold Kell Brook out, haven't they? You know, not showing his next fight with Terence Crawford. Eddie Hearn sold him out, hasn't he? Kell Brook was one of the first people, you know, to sign to Eddie Hearn, you know, when he was a little nobody. Kell Brook, Carl Froch and Darren Barker. You know, they all signed to Eddie Hearn, you know, when he was a little nobody. But now he's big time, you know, bringing out these little fancy books. You know, he's fucking selling out Kell Brook, innit? You know, saying, oh, people won't stay up till 4 and pay. I'd fucking pay. I'd stay up till 4 o'clock, and I'm not even really a hardcore boxing fan anymore. I'd stay up till 4 o'clock and pay £20. So Eddie Hearn, you know, he's talking a load of shit, innit? He sold Kell Brook out, you know, for those YouTube boxers. Yeah, Eddie Hearn threw him under the bus, you know, like he did with the Black Quitter. He fucking sold him out, didn't he? Well, he's done the same to Kell Brook. Yeah, Eddie Hearn don't give a fuck, does he? It's all about a pound note, innit, with him. He don't give a fuck, man. So yeah, I don't think Kell's fight's going to be on Sky, is it? It's quite a good fight as well. Yeah, that'll be quite interesting, won't it? What do you think of that? Kell got interviewed the other day, you know, by Umar, IFL Umar. And Kell, like, finally revealed his new trainer. You know, he's called Carlos Fermento. You know, I've never really heard of him, you know. I've never heard of him. Have you? Is he any good or what? Is he established? Is Kell just kind of like brought him in, you know, just to save a few quid? You know, brought in a little shit trainer for cheap. I don't know what's going on. I think Dominic, he was training Liam Williams, you know, for his fight that he had recently. And I think Kell wanted to go to Fort Ventura, you know, abroad to train. But Dominic had this Liam Williams, and like, Liam Williams is about 29 years old, isn't he? I think Kell Brook's about 34 now, so he's kind of like coming to the end of his career, isn't he? But you know, this Liam Williams is like, he's on the brink, you know, of like world title level. So Dominic's probably got a few paydays coming, you know, from Liam Williams boxing at world title level. So he's probably just going with the numbers, isn't he, Dominic? You know, he's probably thinking, you know, Liam Williams is like 28, 29. You know, he's on the brink of world title level, so I can get like 6 years, 7 years worth of paydays out of him. It's a business, isn't it? You know, you might say, oh, that's a bit fucked up because he's, you know, Dominic's kind of trained Kell from a young age, but it's a business, isn't it? You know, Kell already left, you know, to go and train with Dave Caldwell. So it's one of them things, isn't it? You have to go where the money is. So I think Dominic's just thinking, I've probably got about 7 years worth of paydays from Liam Williams, so I'm going to stick with him. And Willie Hutchinson, he's supposed to be like the, you know, the up-and-comer. Kell said that he sparred with Willie Hutchinson. And Kell said that he couldn't train the next day, you know, because he was so fucking fucked up, you know, from sparring with Willie Hutchinson. So, you know, like Willie Hutchinson, he hasn't even won a British title. So, you know, Kell Brook, he's like been a world champion on it. So, you know, if he's like having a really hard spar with Willie Hutchinson, that suggests that this Willie Hutchinson is something big, but not necessarily. Because I've sparred Kell a lot of times and I've always held my own. I've never ever got battered by Kell. Not once have I ever got battered by him. But he won a world title, didn't he, Kell? And I haven't even won a fucking area title in boxing. You know, my boxing career was a fucking joke. So, you know, me holding my own with Kell in sparring, it doesn't mean anything. So, you know, Kell in an interview saying that Willie Hutchinson really fucking put it on him. And then Kell couldn't train the next day. That don't really mean anything. That's not really that meaningful. But Dominic's got those two fighters on him, so he's probably like sticking with them. Because this might be Kell's last fight. You know, you don't know, do you? You don't really fucking know, do you? You know, he's had a couple of eye sockets smashed up, you know, by Golovkin and Errol Spence. You know, he's been stabbed, hasn't he? He got stabbed, so I don't know, he might be coming to the end of the road, man. You know, Eddie and they're acting all nice and friendly, you know, just to sell Kell Brook out a few years down the line. You know, it's fucking fake smiles in it from Eddie and it's fucking fake niceness in it. He's acting all nice and friendly there, innit, with Kell, but you know, a few years on from that, he's gonna fucking throw him under the bus, innit? You know, not getting behind his fight with Terence Crawford. It's fucking fake smiles in it from Eddie Hearn. Fake smiles. But yeah, I don't know who Kell Brook's new trainer is. Carlos Fermento. I've never heard of him. I don't know if he's established or not. I don't know. I've never really heard of him. Who do you think would be a good trainer for Kell at this stage? What about Robert McCracken? You know, he's based in Sheffield, isn't he? You know, training that fucking Joshua. He's in Sheffield, isn't he? Training Robert McCracken. So he could be a trainer, but I don't think he'd be willing to, like, you know, leave Joshua to go to America to train Kell Brook, you know, in America. Because Kell's fighting in about 4 weeks, you know, against Terence Crawford. So I don't think Robert McCracken would be willing to leave Joshua, you know, at this short notice. Because, like, Joshua, there's a bit of a question mark over him, isn't there? You know, after he got fucked up by Ruiz. There's a bit of a question mark over Joshua's head. So I don't think Robert McCracken would be able to leave him. I think Joshua needs Robert McCracken's undivided attention. Because there's a bit of a fucking question mark over Joshua. You know, after getting fucked up by Ruiz. So I think he'll need Robert McCracken, you know, by his side every single step of the way. You know, in the build-up for his fight with Polev. So I don't think Robert McCracken would train Kell, you know, and fuck off to America to train for Terence Crawford. So who else is there? What about Ben Davison? You know, he needs a fucking bit of work, don't he? You know, after Billy Joe Saunders fucked him off and Tyson Fury fucked him off. So he's, you know, he's struggling for cash, isn't he, Ben Davison? You know, he needs the money, don't he? You know, he probably spends a lot of money on his hair, don't he? You know, he thinks he's fucking David Beckham. So he probably spends a lot of money on his fucking hair, don't he, Ben Davison? So he's probably short of cash. So I think Kell should, like, take him on, you know, as a trainer. You know, and help him out financially, you know, so he can buy a bit of shampoo and conditioner. You know, to try and help him look like David Beckham. That's what he wants, don't he, Ben Davison? So I think Kell should take him on, you know what I mean? He's struggling for work, isn't he? But you know, if Kelly's training himself or he's got a little shit trainer on board for his fight with Terence Crawford, it's a bit of a risk, in it, you know what I mean? Because this could potentially be Kell's last fight. So surely you want to go out on a win, don't you? Surely if this is your last fight, you want to go out on a win, don't you? You know me, I had a little shitboxing career. My career was a joke. You know, it was a fucking joke, my boxing career. But you know, my last fight, I won my last fight. Even though it was against a little fake prospect, you know, Marcus Morrison. You know, some little fucking hyped up ticket seller. Some little matchroom Eddie Earn wanker. You know, some little fake prospect. Some little fucking ticket seller that Eddie Earn got behind, you know, because he sells a few tickets. So Eddie Earn fucking got behind him a bit, you know, because he sells tickets. So I beat this little fucker here, Marcus Morrison, in my last fight. And it felt quite good, you know, to like finish on a win. Even though this fucking guy here is a little fake prospect. A little hyped up fucking fake potential prospect. You know, he's a clown in it, this fucking Marcus Morrison. But I beat him in my last fight. And it felt so good, you know, to finish on a win. Even though it's not a big deal, it's still a win in it. And it feels quite good to go out on a win. So surely Kell wants to go out on a win as well. So, you know, like just training himself or bringing in a little shit trainer. It's not a good move, is it? You know, for his last fight. You know, fighting one of the best pound for pound boxers in the world, Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford lives the life, don't he? You never see him out of shape, do you? You remember when his fat wife was ramming that fucking pizza into her fucking mouth like that? You know, he was looking at her with disgust, wasn't he? Terence Crawford. He was fucking looking at her with absolute disgust. You know, because he doesn't do that kind of thing. He fucking lives the life, don't he? You know, he's got that discipline, hasn't he? You know, he's sticking with the fat wife, even though he could have ran off with a load of sexy ring card girls. You know, he fucking stuck with the fat wife, didn't he, Terence Crawford? So he's got fucking discipline, hasn't he? So, you know, Kell, he's going to have to really be on it, you know, to beat a fucking guy with that kind of discipline. You know, a man who's willing to stick with the fat wife. You know, and not run off with those sexy ring card girls. So he's got discipline, on he? Terence Crawford. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, you know. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully Kell will win. It's just a tough one, innit? It's fucking tough, man. But we'll see. But yeah, what else is going on in boxing? Yeah, did you see that video of Michelle Phelps pretending to cry on the internet the other day? That was embarrassing, wasn't it?
You know what? I don't normally do this sort of thing, but you know, people just really need to have some sort of accountability online because shit hurts. I try to be positive. I make sure everyone's good. I am always looking out for people, making sure they're okay. I just don't know what do I do to deserve to be abused all the time on social media? What, because my laugh's annoying? That's what it is? Like, what is it? You just fuck you people, seriously. Y'all have too much hate in your lives. People like you that make people do really bad things to themselves. Shame on you guys.
Yeah, don't be fooled by that. It's fake, man. It's fake tears, isn't it? I've seen too many publicity stunts from Michelle Phelps. You know, bending over in the gym. You know, conveniently with somebody conveniently stood behind her with a camera, you know, recording her bending over in the gym. You know, little fucking stunts like that. You know, I've seen too many of those kind of stunts, you know, from Michelle Phelps. So, you know, this little fucking fake crying video, it's fake, man. It's just a fucking desperate attention-seeking publicity stunt, innit? We've seen a lot of them from her, so don't fucking take that seriously. You know, those little fake tears, it's fake. Do you know what I mean? Well, even if it's not fake and she's getting a few like tweets from people slagging her off, you know, so what? Do you know what I mean? You remember that time when that little shit boxer got in touch with Michelle Phelps and said to Phelps, "Can I have an interview?" because I'm trying to promote myself and trying to sell a few tickets. And Phelps said to him, are you going to talk shit in the interview? And he said no. So then Phelps said to him, well, you can't have an interview then. Do you know what I mean? She wants people to fucking talk shit about other people and slag off other people. But you know, the minute somebody slags off Michelle Phelps, you know, she starts putting out these little silly videos, these little fake crying videos. Don't be fooled by any of it. It's all fake. Fucking fake tears, you know, just a desperate attention-seeking publicity stunt. Don't be fooled by it, man. We've seen it from her before, time and time again, you know, trying to whore herself out on the internet. Don't be fucking fooled by any of it, you know, fucking commenting with a little sad face. Like, oh, I hope you're okay. It's fake, man. These fucking YouTubers. You know, a lot of them are scum. Attention-seeking scum. You know, pretending to cry, you know. There's no tears at all, is there? Where are the tears? There's no fucking tears at all, is there? You know, it's just fake upsetting it, you know, attention-seeking. And then Coogan probably messaged her saying, oh, are you okay? Oh, are you okay? You know, trying to get into her fucking knickers again. Posse and views. Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? That's a new low from Coogan, that isn't it? That is a new low from Coogan. You know, that debt-free advert. You know, 1 minute he's taking money from gambling companies.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
You know, and then the next minute he's promoting debt-free companies. You know, he's all over the place, isn't he, Coogan? He's all over the place. You know, like Phelps, you know, like refusing to give a boxer an interview because he refuses to talk shit. But then when people talk shit about her, she starts putting out these little fake crying videos. You know, they're both all over the fucking place, aren't they? They're all over the place. But yeah, I need to quickly wrap this video up, you know. I need to do a video about Khabib, you know, before I fuck off to bed. You know, Khabib, I need to do a quick video about him tonight, you know. That's like real stuff, innit, Khabib. That's like real stuff, you know, Michelle Phelps pretending to cry and all that fake bullshit. This is like real stuff, innit, Khabib. So I'm going to quickly do a video about him tonight before I fuck off to bed. But yeah, that will do, you know, just a little fucking shit video today, you know. Yeah, thanks for watching again, yeah, thanks for that.